Happy to have you aboard here for the Really Big Barbecue Show.
Boing. We cook because we have to, and we grill because we want to.
Hit me!
Fine, how's it going?
You have a great show. I'm a big fan.
Boing.
So what seems to be the problem here? This man looks like he's dead, and he's in the crackle. Charbono! It's all about the Charbono, dude!
Succulent fish. What?
He ate Tootsie or Wiener.
Oh, listen, Libertius, shut your face.
I'm shaking like a dog shit peach seeds.
We have top men working on it right now. Top men.
And just like that, we are into the second hour. It's the Barbecue Central show where we talk about only the most high-level barbecue and grilling items that the live fire industry has to offer this week, last week, the week before, things that might be coming up. We're touching on all aspects of live fire community, news and or otherwise. This show originating from
Palm City, USA, Cleveland.
Still to come on the show this evening, Sam the Cooking Guy. In about 10 minutes from now, David McDowell will close out the program. 35 past. We say good evening to those of you watching this show tonight through one of our video streaming platforms. You can go to Facebook and Twitch /BBQ Central Show. Also, you can watch the show over at YouTube /RD Rempe. We also say good evening to the folks that are using our audio streaming platform, Clubhouse. So if you would rather just listen to us and not see us at all, Clubhouse is the way you want to do it. And as I had mentioned in the first hour, both YouTube and Clubhouse have an app. So you can interact with the folks that are in the Clubhouse or in the YouTube chats. You can talk about the show. You can talk about nothing that has to do with the show if you so desire. So have at it as you wish, or just subscribe through the podcast platform, and you never have to miss another show, and you never have to do it live.
We'll do it live.
Coming up on the best moments of the Barbecue Central show in 10 minutes or less this Friday, episode 259, if you can believe it, taking you back to December 3rd, 2013, featuring my friend and barbecue juggernaut, Sterling Ball from Big Papa Smokers. In this particular clip, we dig a little into his cooking interest and how he got involved with barbecue. We also talk about his other job. I don't know if you knew this or not, but that Sterling Ball is son of Ernie Ball. Yes, the Ernie Ball that does the musical instrument strings. That guy? Yeah. And the Music Man, guitars and musical instruments, that business. I've often asked him offline as we're talking, he regaling me with stories, hanging out. Bill Murray is one of his best friends, and Kirk Hammett uses Ernie Ball strings, and David Lee Roth and Eddie Van Halen stories. I'm like, why are you even bothering 1 second with this barbecue? Go live your musical life. You put up with the headache and the ass ache of trying to advance competition barbecue in the ways that you're trying to do it. And at every turn, somebody is taking a dump on you. Forget it. Why not just go hang out with Eddie Van Halen and Alex Van Halen and all the other musical people that you're hanging out with and making strings and guitars for, and stop getting dumped on by the haters in the barbecue world? But he's passionate about barbecue, especially back then. So we talked all about that. And then how did we close the segment? We talked about it. It's funny enough, Donnie Bray just referenced this contest during last segment. We talked about what was then the big contest of the year. Now, I'm not talking about the American Royal or the Jack Daniels. I think in 2013, there was even still the semblance of a Sam's Club National Barbecue Tour. I'm not talking about any of those. If you were a competition cook back in the day, when this particular event was going on, while you certainly wanted to win all of the aforementioned major events, because that adds to the resume and the legacy of what kind of a pitmaster you are, really, at the end of the year, you wanted to put together a year that allowed you to get the invite from Sterling Ball to go cook at the King of the Smoker event that was held out there in semi-Southern California. I'm not going to steal John's thunder at the end of the show this coming Friday, but I will say this. Sometimes, in the middle of something, you don't realize the greatness of someone, or you aren't able to appreciate it. And that time only comes after the fact. Many of us might be in that position with Sterling right now. However, this was a great segment, and it was 9 years ago. Funny to hear what still rings true today, by the way. So be sure to check out what is coming up this coming Friday on the Best Moments of the Barbecue Central show in 10 minutes or less. But again, if you were a competition cook within that time frame of when King of the Smoker was going on, I don't even know if it made it 10 years in a row or not. Everybody talked about, I got to find a way to get into King of the Smoker. Why wasn't I picked? Look what I did this year. Bob, invitation. Not a qualifier, it's an invitation. Plus, you had to work and play nice with others, which was like a secret category or a secret box that you had to check. Does this man or woman play nice with others? You could be a great barbecue cook, but if you were summarily a dick, you didn't get to go to King of the Smokers. You had to be a great cook. You didn't have to necessarily get the top wins, but you had to show some winning. And then you had to be an excellent person. And newsflash, some of the excellent cooks aren't excellent people, which is why they find themselves on the excellent sidelines to King of the Smoker when it was happening. Hey, don't forget, if you want to hear a guest or segment again that might be lost in the archives, email John, Jon, at thebbqcentralshow.com and let him know what you would like to hear. He'll do his best to meet your expectation. Coming up for the rest of the year, shows in December. Of course, next week we will get our regular visits from Meathead at AmazingRibs.com. Also, Robert Moss from RobertFMoss.com. Mike McLeod from World Food Championships. Coming back, baby. First time, long time that Mike's been on the show. Daniel Vaughn makes a quarterly appearance from Texas Monthly. Mr. Jonathan from the Cigar Authority makes a reappearance in December. Of course, Derek Riches, the embedded correspondence, and I am working on rebooking Chris Lilly of Big Bob Gibson and Noah Glanville from Pit Barrel Cooker, both 2022 Barbecue Central Show guest Hall of Famers. So that is how the rest of the month lays out currently. All right, let's get out now so we can make time for Sam the Cooking Guy. Speaking of, head on over to WhereBigPapaSmokers.com for all your barbecue and grilling needs. Big Papa Smokers, the one-stop online shop for all things barbecue. Their curated selection of only the best outdoor cooking and grilling supplies, getting you on the path to better barbecue results in no time. Everything at BigPapaSmokers.com has been Pitmaster approved by Sterling Big Papa Ball himself. From the award-winning rubs and sauces to the American-made grills and smokers, Big Papa Smokers has everything you need to be a better outdoor cook. Whether you are cooking in the backyard or you are cooking on the competition scene, it doesn't matter. Big Papa Smokers has something for you. Known for the championship rubs and seasonings, popular flavors like Sweet Money, Cattle Prod, Cash Cow, all proven winners on the competition circuit and in backyards, Big Papa Smokers offers 13 perfectly balanced flavors that transform ordinary meals into extraordinary. Whether you're cooking to impress the judges or grilling for the family, Big Papa Smokers' award-winning rubs and seasonings just don't disappoint. Pick up a bottle today, BigPapaSmokers.com. Big Papa's is also the proud owner of Granny's Barbecue Sauce. So if you're looking for a new go-to sauce that will please everybody, Granny's traditional yet powerful flavor reminds us of why we fell in love with barbecue in the first place. Find Granny's Barbecue Sauce and other top-rated sauces at BigPapaSmokers.com. And aside from the premium selection of rubs and sauces, Big Papa Smokers offers the very best pellet, charcoal, and wood cookers available on the market today. If you're looking for a versatile smoker that's easy to use, check out that Mac 2-Star General Pellet Cooker. Big Papa Smokers, the exclusive Mac dealer, even offering special packages. Not a fan of pellet smokers? Fine. Don't know what you want? Okay. Call them. Ask questions. 877-828-0727. That's 877-828-0727. Or shop their website, BigPoppaSmokers.com. That's BIGPOPPA Smokers.com. That's BigPoppaSmokers.com. Sterling Ball and the gang also in for 2023 sponsorship. How about that? See how it works? By the way, I mentioned if you have a product or service that you want to get out to the target audience of live fire interested folks that listen to this show, you should email me, greg@thebbqcentralshow.com, and I can fill you in with that information in case we come up with spots. How about that? All right, we'll be back with Sam the Cooking Guy right after this. Stick around. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the Barbecue Central Show. Howard Stern, Jim Rome, Dan Patrick, and Greg Rempe. The Mountain Rushmore of talk show entertainment. Now, let's get back to the Barbecue Central Show.
This portion of the show being brought to you by Pit Barrel Cooker, the most unbelievable outdoor cooking device on the planet, currently available in 3 sizes with a host of accessories. Whether you're a beginner or professional, doesn't matter. Cooker. Definitely a cooker you want to add to the arsenal. Visit pitbarrelcooker.com and tell them the Barbecue Central Show sent you. By the way, Pit Barrel Cooker on board for next year. How about that? It's a renewing frenzy. How about that? I just said that. Hey, my next guest is a YouTube cooking sensation with over 3 and almost 3.5 million YouTube subscribers that eagerly watch his cooking videos 3 days a week. He's won many Emmys, a Barbecue Central Show guest, Hall of Famer, and in general, somebody I love to talk about food with and life with, both on this show. We race to the hotline, and welcome back, Sam the Cooking Guy. Hey, Sam. Great to see you. How was Thanksgiving?
I started by saying, hey, Polish boy.
Hey, how about that?
And that will be meaningless to anybody outside of Cleveland for the most part.
Yes. But I wanted to, I meant to have this up.
The picture?
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
As I was saying that out loud, quickly I realized that could be a weird thing for me to say out loud. But all right, here we go.
Hey, Polish boy?
No.
Would it be weird for you to say?
I meant to have it out. We don't want to say that. All right, now let me dive into my screen here. Go to number 2. There we go.
But How about
that?
Look at that.
Love it. Delicious. Now that is a Polish boy. Now for folks that don't know what a Polish boy is, I don't know if we're just jumping right into this headlong. You have a kielbasa sausage, and then you have French fries, and then you have coleslaw, and then you have barbecue sauce. Now, is there a traditional way to make it or build it, as you say on the Cooking Guy channel? I mean, I don't think in Cleveland, if you go around, anybody's going to give you any static. My preferred way is sausage, then barbecue sauce, not a heavy hand, but a nice barbecue sauce, then fries, then slaw, then barbecue sauce. You reversed it a little bit there, but again, that's nothing I'm not going to say yes to.
Because that's it. I needed the coleslaw to be where it was to hold the fries on top.
Yeah.
Because the other way around, it was not working.
Where did the inspiration to cook one come from?
It came from Max.
Really?
So we try and split what we do. So today we shot 2 things.
Yeah.
One was, can I send you a picture?
You can text it to me.
No, that's what I mean. It's probably not this. This is not professional. What the
it's highly unprofessional. But guess what? We've been professional for any number of years, I think.
We've never been professional.
No,
Here, show this picture.
All right.
Here, show this picture. So we try and shoot two things each day. We shoot Mondays and Tuesdays. So we shot the Polish boy today. Yep. That was pretty damn good. Yep. Gonna say. Do you know what I did with my kielbasa?
I don't.
I deep fried it.
Oh, I was gonna say that, but I didn't know if that gets too weird or not. Plus, I don't know how quickly the casing on the kielbasa might snap.
Splits?
Yeah.
It splits, it snaps, it cracks, whatever you want to call it. And it is effing glorious. Honestly, one of the best hot dogs I've ever had, I deep fried.
I was just going to say, you ever deep fried a glizzy?
Yeah. And it's fantastic. So I made my own fries today for this, of course. I don't buy frozen fries and make them anymore. I mean, maybe every so often, but when I need fries for YouTube, I make my own. So because I had the deep fryer going and the hot oil going, why wouldn't I take that kielbasa and put it in?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, you must do this. It's really delicious. Really delicious.
This is the other picture you sent me, and I'm trying to make heads
So
or
the
tails.
other thing we shot today was this lemon chicken recipe that I found in my mother's recipe box.
Chicken thigh?
Skin on, bone in chicken thighs.
Huh.
But listen to this. So you take a chicken thigh, you toss it in a little flour that's been seasoned, right? And then it goes into a pan with butter and oil, skin side down. You get it crispy, you flip it over. You cook it a little bit. Then you add the lemon chicken component, which is a little brown sugar, a little white vinegar, and a tin of lemonade.
A tin?
Lemonade concentrate.
A tin?
Like you buy a tin. Have you seen where you buy frozen lemonade in a tin that you would then add water to?
Yeah.
But you don't add water to this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lemonade concentrate.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Greg. It was just like Chinese restaurant lemon chicken. So damn good.
Where did you come up with getting a bottle or a can of lemonade concentrate?
This recipe came out of my mother's recipe box.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ingenious.
So good.
Huh.
She was a genius. Yeah. But as I said, as I was eating it, I go, I'm pretty certain people are going to go, my mother made that, my grandmother, my aunt made that. I'm sure it's a thing. I just didn't know it was a thing. And my mother made it when I was young. I just didn't know that a tin of frozen lemonade concentrate was at the center of it.
I remember growing up, my mom would make orange juice. We had somewhere between the neighborhood of 5 and 75 frozen cans of orange juice concentrate in the freezer. And she would drop it into the pitcher, add the water, stir it around, and that's what we drank for Minute Maid orange juice concentrate forever.
No, that was the thing.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, I'm older than you, but I still, yes, I know that was a thing.
Question from me as a fan of your videos.
Go ahead.
You know I'm all about the inside scoop. Never about onions. Ever. I'm about hating on onions, but nevertheless. I like inside scoop. I like banter. I like witty repartee. Why not mic up Max and Part-Time Chance so we can really hear the back and forth that you guys are having? Because we get it off mic, and I think I want to hear it. Like, why not? They have the gear. Easy enough. Stick some lavs on them and let them bark.
I think I asked this question once before of the boys, and I think the answer was that it's going to make the edit a whole lot longer.
Why? They're not going to talk that much more, right?
I don't know. I mean, who knows? They're a bunch of dickheads.
I think that would add a unique.
I say all the time. So here, draw back the curtain. Here's what happens: we shoot an episode. We all leave. Max and Chance edit it. They eat. What the hell are you drinking out of? The fuck is that?
It's a hydro jug, 73 ounces.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, water.
How much do you go through in an episode?
Oh, in an episode? I don't know. I can usually drink 2 a day, 146 ounces of water.
2 of those?
Yeah.
Are you sitting on a urinal right now? Because
no.
If I drank 2 of those a day, I would have to be attached at the hip to a urinal.
Well, what I did learn, so at 10:35 tonight, we're talking with this guy, David Leans, davidleans.com, my health and wellness coach. And what I quickly learned was I was walking around dehydrated. And he said, hey, you got to drink at least 90 ounces of water a day. Now, look, I didn't go out and buy these.
What?
Yes. I didn't go out and buy this hydro jug.
You could drown to drinking 90 ounces of
No. I mean, you should be drinking 90 ounces of water. Everybody out there should be drinking at least 90 ounces of water
90 ounces of water,
Yes.
I'd be done. In the newspaper tomorrow morning in San Diego, Sam the cooking guy drowned from drinking too much water.
Yeah. So the girls in my house carry these hydro jugs around, drinking water all day. And once I started the health regime with David, and he said I needed to get to 90 ounces, I said, okay, I'm going to get one of these jugs too. Because if it's out of sight, it's out of mind. This thing is never out of sight. Right? I mean, it's right in your face.
3 quarts of water a day.
Yeah. 73 times 2 is 146 ounces.
No, I understand.
I try to do 2. Usually it's somewhere between 1.5 to 1 3/4, depending on, what's happening.
I could do that if I just sat on a toilet.
But I think
your daughters are they're not like giant people.
No.
How are they taking down that much alcohol?
I don't know how much they're drinking. I know how much I'm drinking. I don't keep track of them. I think they'd like to fill it up once for the day and then they're done with it. Maybe they don't get through it. Maybe they do. I don't know. But again, the point I'm trying to make is I realized I was walking around dehydrated. And when I started drinking more and more water, the quality of my life improved. I was able to taste better. If I didn't like the taste that was in my mouth, it didn't hang out nearly as long. There's a lot of great things that happen when you're properly hydrated in your body to get your fitness levels up and to have things digest and process. So I think people don't realize how dehydrated they are actually walking around. And I can be a testament to that because I was obviously walking around more dehydrated than I was hydrated. And this has completely made my life better. If I didn't get anything else, if I didn't build any more muscle or I didn't lose any fat or anything like that, and just did the water, that has been a great improvement in my life.
Hit the fat button again. Fat! There you go.
Yeah. So I encourage you as a resolution of 2023 to drink at least 90 ounces of water a day.
I can't. I didn't even want to look at 90 ounces. I want a canoe in 90 ounces of water.
Guy the Cooking Sam says, Greg, why don't you put a nipple on it? 200 ounces makes a man. That's right. That's right. So, all right. So holiday season is upon us.
Yes, it is.
We're obviously not miking up the gents, which I think is a tragedy, but we'll leave that there.
No, we've talked about it, and I'll listen. Based on this conversation, I will bring it back up to the boys and see why we can't do that.
Yeah.
What I started to say was, so we shoot an episode. Max and Chance go away. They edit it, and it comes to me for my looking at it, my review. And I say, cut this out. Maybe take this. We didn't emphasize this enough. And there's moments when I go, I like what you said, but we can't hear you. So please CG your comments on the screen. CG is Chiron graphics for people not in the business. I just mean put your words literally, closed captioned on the screen, basically. Because it's important at times. But I get it. And so they've given me a reason that they can't. Maybe it's bullshit. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's bullshit. Because
I'm going to go back and yell at them.
The finished video that we're seeing when they're talking in it, like what's the difference aside from being able to hear them exactly? That's the only thing that would be better. So I think it would be a positive.
Listen, the only thing I can say is I don't edit. I don't do the editing, so I don't know for sure if there's something that's going to cause way more work. But whatever.
What are you recommending people give as gifts this year during the holidays? It doesn't have to be live fire. It can be in and outdoor cooking.
Oh, I gotcha. Look, I think if you're going to somebody's house, and many of us are, we're going to go to a holiday party at someone's home. The knee jerk is a bottle of wine. And I say, fuck that. It's enough. Huh? Forget the wine. No more wine. Especially, look, not everybody drinks wine. You don't drink wine. You don't drink anything.
Right. I did.
But it's so like, hello, 1984. I'm bringing a bottle of fucking wine. What's the Pinot? Who gives a fuck about that? Do that again?
Pinot.
Pinot. Here's what I say. I'm a fan of taking a really good bottle of olive oil. I love good olive oil. I don't know that people normally think of spending a little bit extra, and a little bit extra is not a lot. It's not nearly the amount of a lot of a decent bottle of wine. So you take a good bottle of olive oil and a baguette.
Oh.
And then you get there and you break the baguette and you put olive oil on and you eat it. The two go hand in hand. And even if they don't go hand in hand, you end up with a good bottle of olive oil and a great baguette and you're happy. The other stuff that you could take or send is I don't know, Sam the Cooking Guy cookbooks and or knives.
Yes, how about that?
Shop at sdcg.com. Shameless plug, but don't do the same thing. Look, you can go to my website, anybody's website, and find pickled red onions that are amazing on so many things. In a grilled cheese, on some pork, on a steak, whatever. Making something that comes from your heart is not an insignificant thing to do. It doesn't take a lot on your side, but it means a lot on their side when you give it. So just, I don't know, just don't do the same thing that everybody else is going to do. And wine is going to be that.
What's Sam's go-to olive oil?
Oh. So we have a few places here, as everybody does, stores that you can go to that you can taste different types of olive oil. Lemon, chili, rosemary, all kinds of olive oils. Have you been to those stores that have these very beautiful stainless steel tubs with the little pour things, right? Do that. Maybe give 2 or 3. I think giving people options in olive oil, in oils and stuff like that is a very good thing to do. So try that out.
We're out of time.
Okay. See ya.
I mean, I knew I should have won solid
next year,
shot,
buddy. Next year.
Oh, you're that guy?
Year, bro.
You're that guy? See you next year.
Everybody's that guy. See you next year.
All right. So if you're not subscribed to Sam, go to the YouTubes and subscribe to him. And shop STCG.
You're going to be able to wait. You're in the next week and a half.
Yeah.
You'll see the Cleveland Polish boy coming up on the YouTube.
Make sure that you're ready for that. You have that subscribe button smashed in the ding bell dung so you can be ready to go. And you can see Sam right here the first Tuesday of every month starting again in 2023 in the second hour. Sam, always appreciate the fact that you give time to the show, that you continue to lend legitimacy to the show, and for your friendship, of course. I hope you have a great rest of the holiday, a Happy New Year, and we'll see you in January.
Thank you, my friend. I'll see you, talk to you next year.
All right. Next year it is. See you next year. All right. David McDowell is ready to go. TheCookingGuy.com is Sam's main website. You can go to Shop STCG and get all of those great knives and other accoutrements for gifts or for yourself. Gift to yourself. Why not? And follow him on the socials. Pretty active there. Green Mountain Grills. That's what we're talking about. Choice line, prime line. Yes, of course. If you want to save some money, Choice line is the way to go. If you want to spend a few extra $100, prime line is the way to go. What's the difference? Prime line gives you some more bells and whistles. A little bit more of a robust build on the chassis, internal meat probes, things like this. But if you don't need any of that, you just want a solid, better than entry-level cooker, the Choice line is right for you. I can't confirm it 100%, but I've heard it through trusted sources that have been vetted. And I believe I am 98% sure that I can tell you that Green Mountain Grills will continue on in operation. No names, please, rule number 1 of the show, but I believe, if I understood it correctly, and I'm waiting for a link to confirm/read, Green Mountain Grills has worked their way out of infringing in the patent portion that Traeger had them in a lawsuit with. I believe that's all put to bed, and they're going to be able to move forward operating, not losing. How about that? So that's the way to go in the holiday season. Green Mountain Grills only sold through dealers. Find one near you, greenmountaingrills.com. Find the dealer. Visit the dealer. Touch, feel, buy the one that's best for you. Get educated, take it home, and have success right out of the bat. Accessories at the dealer and at greenmountaingrills.com. So check out either place and go from there. And don't forget, get the pizza oven insert, greenmountaingrills.com. We're back with David McDowell right after this. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Let's get back to a guy who has more experience giving you his opinion than he actually has cooking. Once again, here's your host, Greg Rempe.
And we thank Sam, the cooking guy, for joining us the last segment. This portion of the show being brought to you by Smithfield, with the popular Smithfield Grant program coming back. Hopefully, you got your applications in this year. They were due 3 days ago. I was telling you all about it for months. However, you can go to smokingwithsmithfield.com and see if they have any spots left for the 2023 Committed Cooks program. Participating teams will receive a premium swag bag kit, coupons, and a surprise throughout the season. Spots are limited. So again, sign up with smithfield.com. In a unrelated story, guess who's not coming back as a 2023 sponsor? Smithfield!
Get that big stuff out of here.
Where did we fall out of love, Smithfield? What happened? Look, it was a long time coming. I can't believe they were even on in 2022, maybe even 2021. But they stuck with it for a while, and I think you will start seeing an evacuation of them out of the areas that they have been sponsoring for a long time now that I don't even think actually made sense. So the fact that they are done with this show, not a surprise to me, and we thank them for the years of service. Hey, closing the show tonight is the man who has helped me get into some of the best shape I've been in my life, at least since 1997, when a far better looking, more hair, more muscular senior at Ohio University was eating and working out like a maniac. He's been a sponsor of the show for just over a year now, which I certainly appreciate. He continues to put out some of the best Instagram content around. Gang, guess what? 2022 is over. What have you done to better yourself, your health, anything this year? You have listened to me talk on and on about the changes I've been making over the last 20 weeks or so. Let's get on the train in 2023. And tonight I have the guy that can help us all get where we need and want to go. We race to the hotline and welcome back our friend, David McDowell. Hey, David.
Hey, Greg. How are you tonight?
I'm fabulous. Appreciate you jumping on with us here as we close out the first Tuesday in December, if you can believe it. I was just talking with Sam, the cooking guy. I went to go take a drink and he's like, whoa, what the hell is that? And I said, oh, well, that's this thing called the Hydro Jug. It's 73-ounce capacity. It's a serious monster. And he thought I was drinking like multiple of the show. And I said, well, if I get through 2 a day, I've been a pretty prolific water drinker. Typically, it's 1 to like 1.5, 1 3/4. So, 100, 110, 115 ounces of water. And he seemed to think that was just totally ridiculous. I'd be living on the toilet, peeing all over the place. And I said, hey, what I realized is this. I had been walking around dehydrated for years on end, and I didn't even know it until I was properly hydrated, and I just felt better, and my digestion got better, and my taste got better, and if I didn't like the taste in my mouth, it didn't hang out like nearly as long. It quickly evacuated. There were so many pros to just learning about drinking water with you when I started that if that's the only thing I took out of it, it's been a pretty great ride being hydrated now for perhaps the last 10 years of my life or more when I've been walking around dehydrated. Is that pretty common?
Yeah, for folks that don't normally do a good job of keeping themselves hydrated, like and oftentimes, kind of like in your case, they don't know, and that's for a number of reasons. And we can get into them, but it is common that people will find like, oh well, maybe I'm less hungry, and maybe my like you said, one of the biggest things, especially for me, is digestion is so much just better. We don't need to get into all the tremendous details. It's just things are better for you, whether it's gaseously or on the way out. So it's beyond that. Also, it helps with what's the word I want to use? Lubricates your blood. So if you've got hydrated blood vessels, your blood's moving around better. Your nutrients are getting around to your muscles and the bones, and everything's just moving around a lot more efficiently when it's not dehydrated. It's a pretty basic concept, but I guess it's kind of people don't carry. There's like feels like there's two kinds of people. Maybe there's more, but there's people that carry around something like this, and maybe those were the weirdos at some point, or maybe we're the weirdos now. I don't care. It's just you see some people that carry these things around, and it's hard. It's a great little reminder, because having something that you can just palm or carry around with you most of the day, keeps you cognizant. And even some of them have little cute reminders on them that says, as you drink them down, 7, maybe at the time of the day, like 7 a.m., noon, or almost there, perfectly hydrated, stuff like that. So there are all these ways that I think the word is finally getting out there, and it's not like this is a brand new concept, and we need water. We're, I don't know what silly ridiculous percent water, we're at least 70% water, right? Something like that. So you need you need your water, and you'll be better off for it if you get if you're a grown man, around 6 footish, between 180 and 100 and 220 pounds, go ahead and try to get 100 ounces of water a day, and see if do that for a week, and see if things that maybe you're not really paying too close attention to change, and if they change in a positive way, see how they go.
I agree. It was totally out of sight, out of mind for me. If I didn't have water in front of me, I just wasn't thinking to drink it outside of maybe coffee in the morning. But if I was done drinking coffee, then I wasn't also ingesting water throughout the course of the day. So when I started to meet that water threshold that you put on our sheet, quickly I realized again that I was living a dehydrated lifestyle, and being a hydrated lifer now is a much more it's a much better feeling person, and I'm reaping these rewards, no doubt about it. We're talking with David McDowell from the Do Wellness, of course, the website davidleans.com/BBQ. So make sure that you are checking that website out as well as we're talking, or after the show ends here this evening. So this is arguably the toughest time of year for someone to start thinking about making a lifestyle change. 3 big holidays hit in a row. If you count Halloween, I don't, but many sure do. I'm sure of it. But there's no doubt that these last few months of the year, big food eating months, it almost seems like you're setting yourself up to fail leading into New Year's, given these last 2 holidays, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely feels that way, and that's all the reason why it's good to have good habits rolling into the holidays. It's the wrong time, in my opinion, to try to make the change. Just this time of the year, there's all the celebrations abound. You can't get away from the leftovers or the parties or the friendsgivings or there's all these reasons to congregate, and that's a wonderful thing. And I would never, this, I would never tell anybody that I'm advising in any kind of way to not eat grandma's cookies. That's the simple kind of, back pocket, to let yourself have the parts of, the celebrations that are actually celebrations. And, I've, I've told many of my people, let a special occasion actually be a special occasion. You got off early from off work on Friday, that's not really a special occasion. If you got lunch catered on a random Wednesday because, of whatever reason, that's not really a special occasion. Just because you get something that was a surprise or something nice happens, let yourself have actual special occasions. So you follow the 80-20 principle. If 80% of the time you're doing the right thing, 20% of the time 20% of the time you can more or less screw off and you'll be more or less fine. But you got to make sure that you're doing the 80%.
Let's talk a little bit about your specific program. As I say each and every week, it's not a cookie cutter. We make that reference in the read, 1 to 2 can check-ins a month. This is something that is way more tailored to whoever this potential client is going to be. So if I'm listening now or after the show and podcast, and I'm committing to myself that I want to change, but I know I'm not going to hold myself accountable, so I need this type of service. What do you get when you sign up with David?
Well, with me, you get full access. Really, what I can do is, you've got any means of communication that you prefer to use. I probably have it, and I can probably communicate with you through it. So whether it's you prefer texting, emailing, FaceTiming, WhatsApp, we can communicate by carrier pigeon, whatever you prefer. I'll be there for you to answer the questions. Like I keep coming back to it because, well, there's the best example we have is Greg here. Can send me, or I believe has sent me, or maybe it was somebody else, in the past, here's where I'm going to dinner with my client or my family later this week. Here's just send me the restaurant. I'll find the menu. I'll go into it and tell you what the things are that you should and shouldn't eat, according to the plan that we have set up. And going back to that, with me, we have our initial consultation where we get to know each other. You tell me what you want, and I tell you what I can do. I can't promise you the sun, the moon, and the stars. If you want to lose 20 pounds in 3 weeks, I could do that to you, but I wouldn't feel good about it, and we wouldn't do that. There is a sustainable way to do this, and I'm not going to put you as the person that's giving me your good money to put you in the position to lose, because if you, in that particular example, were to lose that much weight that quickly, that's not sustainable. You will more than likely gain it back because it's been proven that there's a certain rate that is best to follow if you want to avoid the bounce back. And that's what everyone always experiences, is the bounce back. So it's this kind of titrating of habits moving in a particular direction over weeks. It's this perspective of diet is frequently looked at through the lens of the day. Did I hit all my my protein today? Did I hit all my carbs today? And that's an okay place to start. But really, the better way to look at it, especially when it comes to your weight, if you're choosing to look at your weight, because that's not the only thing, that's not the only metric, and that's not always the best metric for your health. But these things are better thought of on longer time frames. So the week, the month. But with me, you can choose, you can check in as infrequently as you like, but the best way to do it is to weekly, check in weekly, photographs, front, rear, left, right, flexed, unflexed, in your skivvies, so that I can see how you're progressing week to week. And then we discuss, or adjust the diet, and or training regimen, to the needs that we are seeing week over week. And most commonly that's done through email, but like I said, we can do it over any means that's best for you. And that's what you get with me.
So I've been trying to adhere to the program that you're just talking about. Check in. So Monday mornings, I'll get done with my workout. Before I take the shower, I'll make sure I unload if I need to, and then get on the scale, get whatever that weight is, snap the pictures, send it over. I wish people could start with week 1 and already have a week 20 that they can look at, because you start, and I think the mindset is that next week you're going to see a dramatic improvement, and then that next week you're going to see a dramatic improvement, and that next week. But you can over some time, but it's not something that you're just going to see immediately. And I don't know if a lot of people share that similar mindset or not, where they're going to start putting in work and they want to see these dramatic results immediately. But I mean, you've seen my week 1 and you've seen my week 20, and those are two different guys. Like I was not a big fatso or somebody that was out of shape, type 2 diabetic, fat piece of shit that can't run. I mean, I've always been fairly athletic, fairly in shape. So I'm not starting at 500 pounds and trying to scale back. I was at 185 or 189 or whatever it was. And our tactic or our goals were twofold. It was to get on. So I'm talking about it from a position of doing it when I'm talking about it here on this show, but it was to lose and like lean out. And then once we hit that weight of like high 160s, mid 160s, then to reverse the cycle. And now we call it the build, as I talk about it on the show, where we're starting to pack muscle back on. When you look at it, when you look at my loss and now we look at the build, in general, what are the mindsets people should, or what are the expectations people should have as far as how quickly will weight drop off and then how quickly will weight go back on?
Well, in an ideal world, you're usually looking at 1 to 2% body weight per week in the down direction. So if you're a 200-pound man, you should, if you were looking at your ears will bleed with this word before I'm done, sustainable. In a sustainable way, 1 to 2% of your body weight per week. So a 200-pound man, to no more than 4 pounds in a week is honestly pushing it. For again, going back to the example of a 200-pound man. So, and what you will see week over 10 weeks, if this is the lens that we use here is a weekly weigh-in. Over 10 weigh-ins, you will see the weight go from one position to a higher number once or twice over that 10-week period. It could be a pound, it could be 3 pounds, it could be 4 pounds. It could feasibly be more than that. And what's happening is you're seeing things like water weight maybe playing a role. You're seeing things like what you ate before, the day before, at a different time period being digested at a different rate. There are hormonal things that could be affecting you, especially if you're a woman. So there are tons of things that could be playing a role. And when you look at them from just a small step back, this weekly perspective, you can see the downward trend over this example, 10 weeks. You yourself are looking at 20. So we've actually come back up, which is what you also asked about. So building if there are expressions people use like lean bulking, right? People traditionally, if they use the cutting and the bulking, people will just carb load and lift weights until they die, and then they'll get dirty, ugly, bulky, probably gain some muscle, mostly gain some fat, and as an excuse to kind of be a jerk at the dinner table, which has I won't say it doesn't have its merits, but the better, more sustainable and probably healthier thing to do is to not put those additional pounds on your body. Don't put your additional weight on the body for your bones to support, for your organs to send blood to. Don't put that wear and tear on your body if you don't have to. Especially for men over 30, especially for men that may not be producing testosterone at the same rate that they were when they were 18, 20, 22. So your capacity for building just lean, bloody muscle yours or mine. Again, it's kind of over 30 stage. It's diminished compared, almost unavoidably compared to your 18-year-old self. But you still have the capacity to not just use your testosterone, but other androgenic hormones that will contribute to your muscle building. And that starts with establishing the habit of, in many cases, in the first place, lifting weights and putting your body through the stresses. So your body goes, oh, we're building. And this is, again, looking at the weekly perspective. If you weight train, you can gain muscle lots of ways, but the better way to do it is to tell your body, not unlike dieting from the weekly perspective, hey, we're going to do this regularly. And if we're stringent on our diet 1 day a week or 2-3 days a week, your body doesn't get the idea. Your body's like, okay, well, we don't know what to expect. It's going to be really hard to know where you're going. So with the building of the muscle, give yourself at least 3 days a week to tell the body, oh, we're going to build. Oh, okay, that's the goal. And then don't give it the reasons not to build by crapping on it with your diet or other crappy habits. So the way it trends back up is going to be slower because if you want to do it without putting on a whole bunch of unnecessary fat, that's just the way it goes. A full-grown man past the age of 30 would be lucky to put on 5 pounds of muscle in a year under ideal circumstances.
Wow.
That's just the way it is. But it 5 pounds of muscle, let's just say 2-3 pounds of muscle, looks like a lot when you keep yourself relatively lean. So that's my diatribe about that.
All right. So we're looking forward to that. Now, last kind of personal question here. From time to time, as we've said during the 2021 weeks, life happens. There hasn't been a lot of life happening moments, luckily, that have come up, but within the last 2 to 3 weeks, I've had a pretty big life moment happen that has taken me out of the lifestyle habit I've now worked very hard at hitting 3-4 times a week and eating our meal plan and doing the workouts and all this stuff, where, if you go in and check where I'm at now or the last couple of weeks, it's hardly filled out, but I'm not home. I'm in a place where I can't really eat great. So I'm sacrificing eating probably, but I'm not eating in order to not eat crap options that I'm at most of the time. When you're presented in these kind of instances, like, what is the better option? To eat a little bit of crap? Is it to not eat the crap at all and wait until you can get something better and, sacrifice crap quantity for the good stuff, even though it might not be as frequent?
Yeah, I think depending upon whether your current goal is to try to grow in some capacity, it could be worth it to maybe have the vending machine Twinkies, not Twinkies, hopefully not more than 2, but you understand what I'm saying. There's a time, if in your example, right? If somebody wants to grow and they are aware that they've missed whatever their scheduled or planned meals are, I think it'd be wiser to go ahead and commit to the dirty food. Simply to keep, again, this comes back to what are you telling your body? When I say what are you telling your body, what I really mean beyond that is what are you telling your bloodstream? Because when you have a brownie, you get a number of things go into your body, and eventually one of the things that enters your blood obviously is sugar or glucose. But beyond that, there are micronutrients that you, through your whole foods that you ought to be eating, you're definitely missing out on. But what you would still be getting is a form of a carb or a fat or a protein. So whether they're grass-fed, grass-finished organic beef, or it's 3 Slim Jims because that's what you got, go with the Slim Jim.
If you are ready to take it seriously, but you need somebody to hold you accountable and, most importantly, meet you where you're at You don't need to be at any type of level in order to work with David. I was a no kind of level, and we had a very involved initial consultation. He said, what are you looking to do? How do you eat? He could have made all these dietary recommendations. Lucky for him, I have zero interest in having any type of variety in my dining. I can eat the same thing every day of the week and twice on Sunday, so very easy for me. But if you're somebody that needs variety, he can help you in that regard as well. Plus, with the workouts that he's putting together with what I have, didn't require me to go out and buy 500 pounds of weight in all different various forms or fashions. So you let him know what you have, and then he's able to put all these programs with you. And look, the proof is in the pudding. I'm not a guy that would ever show pictures. I'm not going to flash up week 1 and week 20 on the screen so you can see. But as somebody who's not somebody that would normally feel free to showcase themselves, if you know what I mean. If somebody happened to walk by me without a shirt, I'm not certainly going to run away at this stage, because with the work we've put in together, I feel much better about myself. And it's not a vain thing. It's just the way it is. My wife said, "Oh, your arms feel like this, or you look a little bit more like this." It's all very positive stuff that helps you stay motivated. But in the end, it's something that is self-driven within me now. I want to get up in the morning. I want to do the work. I want to eat the right way. It's something that I want to continue to carry on. And I think that's where the success builds, because if you're not bought into it, it's only a matter of time before you blow it up and you run back to whatever devices you were working off of that weren't working for you in the first place, I would imagine.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And for a lot of guys, it really is those maybe what you mentioned, feel like kind of small things, like, when somebody walks by, you don't feel, maybe I should turn away if I have my shirt off, or, you're like, your wife says, "Oh, your arms look, or feel this way." Or there are, maybe you're not moving to the back of the group photo, or maybe, you're not afraid that somebody thinks it was you that farted, just there's all these kind of things that kind of can plague somebody with just an uncomfortable amount of what they feel to be an uncomfortable amount of body fat. And those little things turn from what would otherwise be little uncomfortable moments into at least neutral moments. And you can really stack those over the course of the day and over the week. And you'd be surprised what it does for your psyche and for everything for you.
Check out the website. Sign up here as we get into 2023 and make that commitment. davidleans.com/BBQ. That's davidleans.com/BBQ. You can reach out to him, ask questions before you even get started. Make sure that you are feeling comfortable with what he's saying. If you have any questions as far as what my experience has been like, you can always email me, and we can do it together in 2023. David, always appreciate the time, your insight, the information, and continued success. We look forward to having you on again soon.
All right, Greg. Thanks for being great to me, and thanks for having me on.
You got it. There he is, David McDowell, right there. David Leans, davidleans.com/BBQ, and get after it. This is what we're talking about. Enough of resolutions and all that stuff. Forget about that. We got 3 weeks, almost 4 weeks till the new year. We can start putting in the habits, making the lifestyle change now, so as the new year turns, we're ready to go. Plus, as we had mentioned in the interview, it's like the crappiest time of the year to start doing something like this. However, commit now. We can have that lifestyle. 21 days to make a habit. davidleans.com/BBQ. And you can join the same program that I'm doing. We'll be back to wrap the show right after this. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Whole packers, full racks, legs and thighs, injecting butts. If you've never heard this before, you might think you found the best XXX show ever. Let's get back to the most homoerotic host out there today, Greg Rempe.
We thank David McDowell from David Leans, davidleans.com/BBQ. Hey, back in the day, watches were made to be worn in the pocket after World War II. Wristwatches came into vogue, and the pocket watches quickly became an afterthought, finding their way into sock drawers and scrap heaps, and that's a tragedy. Enter Vortic Watch. helping bridge the gap between America's storied watch manufacturing past and bridging it to the present day where wristwatches are finding incredible popularity once again. Here's the coolest part. Each watch that Vortic makes unique, one of a kind. Vortic founded on the motto that America wasn't assembled, it was built. Check out VorticWatches.com for more info. By the way, all of those special edition military watches, they go! Yes, the $12,000 watches. They are gone, all bought up, all done. Okay, all the way back in the first hour, we talked with Mark Williams, Swine Life BBQ. SwineLifeBBQ.com is his website. Filling in for Malcolm Reed, telling us about the competition season coming up in 2023. We talked about turkeys. We talked about his family life and how they're lying to their families about what they're doing on Thanksgiving Day, but we got him straightened out. Then we talked with Donnie Bray, 2022 Barbecue Central Show Guest Hall of Famer, a 2013 KCBS Team of the Year runner-up, and then a 2014 KCBS Team of the Year winner, Warren County Pork Choppers Pitmaster. A look back at how he got into competition barbecue, why he walked away from it, and there's a potential you might see him again at some point down the road. Second hour, Sam the Cooking Guy. TheCookingGuy.com is his website. ShopSTCG.com for all of his gear and knives and shirts and accoutrement. And closing out the show, David McDowell from David Leans. Again, that website, davidleans.com/BBQ. Big show planned for you next week. Meatheads and Robert Moss and a bunch of others that will be making their appearances through next week and the rest of the month, so stay tuned for that. So how do I always leave you? September 11th, 2001. I will never forget until next Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern. This is your program host and proud U.S. American, Greg Rempe. Good night now.
Sam the Cooking Guy, and you're listening to the Barbecue Central Show. Some call him a fool, some even call him a douchebag, but I say Greg Rempe is the greatest thing to happen to barbecue since cavemen.